Well, here we go again.
What?
First, we had Tampon Tim. Dodging deployment, stolen valor, I've seen combat, no you really haven't.
That is true!
In that proud tradition, here comes Kamala Harris. Well, when I was in college, I worked out at McDonald's once.
Border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
I don't know what that means!
I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this. To you and me, it may seem like a nothing burger, but when you're running for president, if you lie about this, what else are you willing to lie about?
It's true.
And it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo. What's next? Your daily dose. Happy Friday. Of course, we're going into the long weekend of Labor Day. So, yeah, it's a good thing. Kamala Harris. Kamala Willie Brown. Kamala Knee Pads. After coming off her first hard-hitting interview with CNN, no. If you wanted beach balls, you got it. If you wanted word salads, oh, you got them in spades. But anyway, when you're running for office, dog catcher, mayor, governor, president, senator, you have a resume. Just like you have a resume, I have a resume when we go apply for a job. We say, hey, okay, here's the jobs that I've had in the past years. And here's phone numbers. Here's bosses. Here's acquaintances that I spoke with. Here's my references. Feel free to call them up. Now, some businesses do. Some businesses don't. They take you for your word. But when you're running for the highest office in the land, whatever you say becomes magnified 1,000-fold. Look at Donald Trump. Look at Joe Dementia. And now we have Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris, as everybody knows, is an attorney. A worthless one, but an attorney nonetheless. She's vice president, a worthless one, but VP nonetheless. So when she talked about her past careers, a certain fast food restaurant came up. Mickey D's. You've heard of them. Ronald McDonald, of course. She said, I worked at a McDonald's once when I was in college. Well, after some fact checking, no, Kamala, you really didn't. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Nolte, Kamala Harris claimed that she worked at McDonald's once. It's under scrutiny. Oh my, we have McDonald's gate. While running for president in 2019, then U.S. Senator Kamala Harris, who, of course, after we saw Tulsi Gabbard destroy her before that, suddenly claimed that she had done something very relatable. Worked at Mickey D's while attending college. After 2 decades in the public eye, which included writing 2 books about herself, which of course nobody ever read, and never mentioned once about employment at McDonald's, all of a sudden, during that failed 2019 campaign run, McDonald's became a centerpiece of her campaign. Quote, I heard rumors that you worked at McDonald's once. A sycophantic Drew Barrymore gushed over Harris during an appearance on Barrymore's worthless daytime show. Of course, John calls it dumb. And well, it is, in 2019. Yes, I did. I worked at McDonald's. When I was at school, I did fries, and then I did cashier. Of course, everybody were like, okay, that's relatable. A lot of people worked at fast food restaurants, Mickey D's, KFC, Pizza Hut. A wide-eyed Barrymore responded, I didn't know that about you. There's a real whodunit. Gee, I wonder where Barrymore heard that rumor. Now, the incumbent Vice President Kamala Harris is running for president. She has continued with the claim. Here's the far-left Politico gushing over it. The ad's narration asserted that Harris worked at Mickey D's to pay her way through college. But that wasn't quite right. She really took the summer job just to earn a little bit more spending money. The ad was quickly recut. Just another wrinkle in the iron out. Amidst a fast-moving presidential campaign that has reconstituted itself around a new nominee. But the mixed-up aides agree that what they saw was a small but important piece of Harris's backstory. They wanted voters to know she worked at McDonald's. But Kamala's claim is now facing scrutiny, thanks to mainly some excellent journalism at the Washington Free Beacon. Despite a concerted effort to verify McDonald's job, Free Beacon has found no evidence backing up cackling Kamala's border czar claim. It's possible that Harris did indeed work at McDonald's in the early 80s, reports at the Free Beacon, but the absence of detail in the public records of her campaign coyness and refusal to provide any further detail raises questions. On Monday, the New York Times reported that without attribution, After a move to Canada, Harris returned to the Bay Area for a summer during college, where she worked at McDonald's in Alameda, a city next to Oakland. But the Free Beacon adds, Harris attended college at Howard University in Washington, D.C., so how could she be at both places at once? If some details of the job were varied, while others were murky, and might be because there is no record of Harris's mentioning McDonald's before the Labor Day rally in Las Vegas in June of 2019. This includes no mention of summer job on either in her memoirs, one published in 2010 and the other in 2019. The most damning piece of evidence that the Free Beacon unearthed comes from the form of a 1987 job application. As a second-year law student, Harris applied for a law clerk position at Alameda County District Attorney's Office. Excuse me. The application required the applicant to list every position she held in the last 10 years. Harris made no mention of McDonald's, which would have fallen under that 10-year span. She did list a clerical job that she held for a month, also listed a granular life experience on her resume, extensive travel in India, Africa, Europe, and lived in Montreal, Canada for 6 years, but not Mickey D's. The Free Beacon said it reached out to Harris' campaign for specifics on her time at McDonald's, but after 2 weeks, no response. Gee, I wonder why. The Free Beacon is correct. We may discover Harris did work at McDonald's for a time, but it's quite a thing when two news outlets that pretend to be serious about their reporting, the far-left Politico and far-left New York Times, report something central to a presidential campaign biography without seeming to fact-check it. If it's ever discovered that Harris is indeed lying about McDonald's, the media will brush it aside as well as someone is willing to lie about something that really doesn't matter and not willing to lie about things that do matter, such as her policy position involving fracking, electric vehicle mandates, opening the southern border even wider than the third world, and stripping every American of their private insurance through Medicare for all schemes. Democrats, sure, got it good. This is kind of like a throwaway story, but it kind of points out something. That if you're willing to lie about working at McDonald's, I mean, a lot of people keep stuff off their resume. I understand it. I used to do it back in my 20s. I kept it off. And I didn't have much job experience back then, but I could list every single place that I've ever worked from a few months to several years. And I have no shame in my game whatsoever. But I can say this, I never worked at a fast food restaurant. I never worked at McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, never worked at any Burger King, never worked at any of that. Wendy's, no. I worked at pizza. I worked as a short order cook, in my early years. That's where I started. But if you're willing to lie about something so small like this, you and I would brush it off. You and I would go, okay, she didn't mention McDonald's in her 2 books, so what? But if you're willing to lie about something that small and you're running for president, imagine the big lies that you're willing to lie about. Because every single person, let me correct myself. Not every single person. Mostly, every single person who runs for Congress or Senate or mayor or governor or president lies about something, has skeletons in their closet. Now, this may be a little tiny skeleton, but still a skeleton nonetheless. Why? Why lie about it? Why keep it off your resume? Why even, why even not mention it in your books? It's nothing, so who cares? But something small, something big. And when you're president, when you lie about something big, you fuck everybody over, as we've seen with Dementia Joe the last 4 years. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always, and we'll see you next time. Peace.